What up, everybody? This is Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw, coming at you, yeah! And we're doing a new Fantastic Four issue 116. Yeah, Reed Richards is falling under the thrall of the Overmind, and only Doctor Doom can help. But is Doctor Doom an ally, or is he in it just for himself? Will he be able to save Reed? We'll find out in Alien, the Ally, and Armageddon. And yes, Reed Richards has just escaped. He has just escaped. He is taken over by the Overmind. Sue is trying to figure out what to do, so is Johnny. Basic rewind, Overmind is actually an Eternal. Basically all the minds of all the Eternals put together, all the strength, everything else. Basically this super Eternal. Sent to Earth, been destroying stuff ever since. So now these guys have kind of figured out what they're going to do. The machine that Reed jumped in is leaking radiation, so they figure they could track Reed that way. Because Reed disappeared into a machine, he turned it on, so some radiation did get in the particles of his costume. In the meantime, there's protesters out there. So the Fantastic Four's reputations kind of took a dive in the last few issues. Landlord's trying to kick him out. Johnny decides, he's not going to take too much. Throws out a little flame, kind of makes everyone step back. And yeah, thing kind of hangs the landlord out to dry. Yeah, in the previous issues, things sort of went crazy, started smashing the town, different stuff started happening, so and of course they're following this radiation tracker, and Johnny comments that it's just a little too easy, and they're wondering what exactly is happening with Reed. And Reed is not doing too well. Reed is not doing too well at all. He is not doing too well against the Overmind. The Overmind's just basically having his way with him. He's slapping him around. He's basically turned him into putty. So now he's going to take a look into Reed's mind. And this is how he gets stronger. He actually absorbs the energy of different minds. So he's trying to take over his brain, and Reed's trying everything and anything to keep his mind from going insane, from falling under the control of the Overmind. He focuses on equations, his wife, his son. But still, the Overmind gets in. He says he's going to turn him into a shell of a man, and right when he's about to break him, Johnny fires a blast of heat at him. Flame on, the Human Torch is there, and so is Ben Grimm. And they have to stop him, and they have to get Reed back. But of course, these attacks they've tried before, and basically the Overmind just outclasses them. I mean, Thing literally, he says he gives him his Sunday's best, and nothing happened to him. So, Johnny, Thing, Reed, everyone's just outclassed at this point. I mean, even Sue, she's trying to figure out what to do. And yeah, she's going around on the bike, and she realizes that she needs to help them, but she needs to get Reed out at the same time. So she's kind of stuck between her husband and the other two members of the Fantastic Four. And of course, Thing is trying his best to clobber. Human Torch is trying to burn this guy up. Sue finally throws a force field at him, but like I said, he just outclasses all of them. This Eternal is in a class by himself, and he's just finding ways to break out, break in, and he's just absorbing their energy and beating the crap out of them. I mean, there is just no way out for them. Johnny and Thing are just outclassed. Sue's trying with her force fields, but it's not working. And of course, Reed Richards is under control of the Overmind. So at this point, there is nothing they can do except get clobbered. And of course, this is where the Overmind completely takes over Reed's mind, and he begins attacking Sue, stretching out towards her. And basically, he has to tell him what to do. That's how strong Reed's mind is. He has to literally tell him step by step what to do. That's how high his willpower is. And of course, he stretches out for her and then kind of hits his limits. As she flies away, she realizes the whole city is in disarray. Basically, people are fighting, they're being torn up. Basically, all the violence and hatred in this guy is spreading out through the city. And he's absorbing all that psychic energy. People are taking shots at Sue, and she goes to the Avengers mansion. She realizes the Avengers are gone. Perfect time for those guys to be gone. But nonetheless, there's no Avengers to be had. She ran into Jarvis, of course. Jarvis at this point is a butler, not a computer, just for everybody to know. Of course, Sue is trying to figure out what to do. And this is part 2, so I thought I'd throw it at you. It was a double issue, so I figured why not. And yeah, she's trying to figure out what allies she could bring into this fight. Because basically, this guy has outclassed everyone. The Overmind has basically won. And then she gets a call from Agatha Harkness. Yep, Agatha, the witch that's taking care of Franklin. And yeah, she drops a little hint that they might need help from someone they least expect. Dr. Doom! Yeah, Dr. Doom is back in play. Man. And of course, Sue is trying to figure out what she's going to do. You know, Doom is one of their big enemies. She goes to the Laverian embassy, and basically she gets an attitude problem from Doom's goons, and she decides that she's just going to break in there herself. And of course, Doom's expecting her, sitting on his throne, smoking up a storm. And yeah, she convinces him. Basically, she plays to his ego, saying that Doom's a man of honor, you know, and not a coward. And basically attacking his pride, Doom decides to help, because no one's going to beat Reed Richards except Victor Von Doom. Nobody's going to beat the Fantastic Four except for Victor Von Doom. So of course he decides to help, and basically the Overmind's done with these guys. Reed is kind of under his control, and yeah, he's capturing people so the Overmind can absorb their psychic energy. So Reed is basically his stooge right now. And yeah, Johnny wakes up to the word rise, and he sees Dr. Doom there, and yeah, they're basically getting ready for a fight with Doom. But Doom is here to help, because Doom has a stake in this too. Because if this guy takes over, he's going to lose his country. So, you know, Doom's down to help. And this guy's just absorbing all kinds of psychic energy, and Reed's just bringing him back, you know, capturing people for this Overmind. And yeah, the Overmind's just wrecking everything. This is what he does. He's a planet destroyer. So, Thing, of course, creates a distraction, tries to push a building on him. He uses the psychic energy to knock it back. Johnny's trying to help out, but like I said, they are just outclassed by this guy. They are just outclassed. They have no plan here. And yeah, that's why they got Dr. Doom, because Dr. Doom thinks a lot like Reed. And he pulls out this weapon, and it basically takes psychic energy, absorbs it, and sends it back to him. And this is where Thing kind of points out that Reed was kind of already working on something when Doom kind of threw in his own twist on it. So it's kind of the chicken and the egg with Reed and Doom. Sometimes one thinks of one thing and they perfect the idea, so it's a real back and forth. Anyways, this guy takes a shot at Thing, and yeah, Doom saves his life. I mean, not really to save his life, but to absorb the energy. Fires it back at the Overmind, and this is where the Overmind kind of gets a wee bit pissed off and just lets Doom have it. I mean, through his armor, through everything, Doom is feeling this. But Doom has that device, and now it's up to Sue to kind of create a distraction and to kind of help out Doom. Can't believe this. Sue Richards is helping out Victor Von Doom. But any port in a storm, if you know what I'm saying. If he throws a force field on, Doom's still absorbing the energy through the hole in the force field. And this is where Reed steps in. Reed kind of tangles her. Sue uses her force field, but she realizes that Reed is fresher. He's hasn't been in the fight as much, and she can't hold on the force field for long. But Doom has that device until it breaks. Yep. Overloaded it, but Doom stands as long as he has his weapons, his armor, his will, until a billion screams of psychic blast just knocks Doom out. It took over 1 billion screams to knock Victor Von Doom out, I'm just saying. Anyways, the Overmind's saying that he has power, he's going to destroy everything, and then someone shows up. The Stranger. Now real quick, the Stranger's kind of a cosmic being on the lower end of the spectrum, and apparently he's all the souls of that planet Gigantus. So I'm just covering that right now. So yeah, Sue and Reed are getting into it. Her force field goes out and he's about to kill her, but he thinks of his wife, his kid, you know, his family. You know, so Sue's kind of thinking the same thing, and Reed just kind of snaps out of it, sort of. He screams real loud and passes out. And this is where the Overmind is outclassed, because the Stranger's been alive a lot longer. He's seen the universe, and he's just whooping the crap out of this guy. I mean, of course, they destroyed Gigantus, their planet, you know, so you kind of got to figure. And so this is where the prophecy is complete. The stranger sets him down on a speck of dust, saying this is his universe to rule and destroy. Yep, he shrunk him down into a speck of dust. That was the power of the stranger over the overmind. Whew, cosmic beings. Different power spectrum altogether. Anyways, the Fantastic Four wake up. Sue is, of course, waking up Reed. Doom gets up, says that he helped out this time. We're not allies, you know, just letting them know, laying the pimp hand of Doom down as he's walking away. And of course, Johnny gets a little pissed off. He decides to fly off, you know, take a breather. The Watcher comes up and goes, yeah, you know, it was good that he used his full power on Doom and everyone else, because the stranger came and he didn't know if he had the power to beat him or not. So, being human targets ended up saving the day. And of course, the Fantastic Four walk away to lick their wounds and fight another day. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.